Good. My first video, well, it wasn't great, but hey, I got it in there. Now I can just relax. Nothing else to worry about tonight. Let's see what I can watch in my spare. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, crap. Okay, so I just have to do this one. Just came out. Let's find out who actually did kill JFK. Maybe.
Yeah, sorry, but not sorry, but the official story absolutely makes no sense at all.
A single bullet caused 6 wounds while staying intact. But many argue that the bullet's trajectory is impossible. The angles just don't add up, leaving us wondering if
Yep, the government lied and was a part of it, as now we are left through sifting through the National Archives website that just released 50,000 JFK related files, as we are getting the news that the rest of the 80,000 will be released sometime tomorrow. All of this, as a lot of us, including myself, were waiting at the edge of my seat here all day long for the files to come out. And then once I started to do content, that's when the files actually did come out. And we have just sifted through all of them, so you don't have to. And we could talk about some of the bigger revelations here, as now a lot of people, after sifting through some of these documents, are left with more questions, as there are some kind of glaring reports here, but no smoking gun. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that the official version of events doesn't add up, doesn't make sense, but
You know those moments when you're like, oh, I think we're about to hit something big here. And then it turns out you're teased. Alright, let's see if anything else comes up.
already there has been some troubles regarding the release, as we were promised no redactions. And there are redactions. What are the redactions for and related to from over 60 years ago? I still would like to know. But a lot of these documents contain interesting foreign policy maneuvers. There's interesting tidbits here, as other people are also pointing out that some of these documents are very similar to the documents that were released in 2023. Was there just a different date?
This is starting to sound like the Epstein files again.
Put on them and released here, as some of the documents are interesting, but a lot of people are still putting all the pieces together. Again, the documents just came out about 2 hours ago in the making of this particular video, as Roger Stone came out and says that it is indisputable. All JFK assassination records released thus far seemed targeted at continuing the false narrative that JFK was solely shot by Oswald. However, the recent Paramount Plus documentary, What the Parkland Doctor Saw, indicates that JFK was shot from both the front and rear, indicating multiple shooters and therefore a conspiracy. This is something that Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna was also hinting at, specifically.
Sounds familiar, right? Maybe something like a very recent assassination attempt on a president of the United States?
When it came to her task force that was supposed to be releasing the documents and then never did. Tulsi Gabbard was in charge of releasing this one. And then, of course, it went through a filter, as Trump promised no redactions. He said, please don't redact it. And then the DOJ sent it off to be redacted, and we are getting news reports of FBI agents working overtime looking at all of these documents, as Congresswoman Anna Paulina just says that there's going to be more documents uploaded. So we still don't.
Here's a really good question. Why? Why do they keep redacting information? Epstein files. This. I mean, I can't blame Trump for this. he's trying to get it out there. He needs other people to do the work. He can't literally do everything on his own. So, what the hell is going on in these agencies? I mean, we already know, like, certain agencies can't be trusted. Hmm.
Have everything. What we have so far, I think, is an interesting narrative. I think one of the most interesting kind of narratives that we are finding out from these documents, from these declassified JFK documents, is the story of a Gary Underhill. He's the one who confided in his friends and family that he knew that the CIA was responsible for the assassination of JFK one day after it occurred. He was also fearing for his life. 6 months later, his life was over. This was a man that was a part of special assignments for the CIA, and his death still remains a mystery here, as we found out that at the day of the
You know, I just have to say this. I really, really worry about Elon Musk. Like, the things he is uncovering now, I guarantee you there are a lot of people who want him dead.
assassination, Gary Underhill left Washington in a hurry. Late in the evening, he showed up at the home of friends in New Jersey. He was very agitated. He says, a quote, "A small clique within the CIA was responsible for the assassination," he confined. And he was afraid for his life and probably would have to leave the country. Less than 6 months later, Underhill was found shot and unalive in his Washington apartment as the coroner ruled it a self-harm incident, even though the official version of events didn't add up here to what was described, as he was shot behind the left ear, even though he was right-handed. An interesting detail here, but what was this small clique that this man was warning about, talking about before he met his demise? As the CIA has a long track record of unaliving people and making it look like self-harm. There's an entire protocol that they have implemented. And when we look at
Yeah, I have no doubt about that. This is 60 years ago. Like, I have no doubt they've gotten better at these things.
their modus operandi and how they conduct themselves, there's a lot of those particular stories here. Now, outside of Gary's story being, I think, the biggest kind of disclosure here out of all of this, we also found out that it wasn't just other CIA assets that knew right away that the CIA was responsible here, but also Cuban diplomats that immediately assumed the CIA was responsible for taking the life of JFK since the failed Bay of Pigs invasions. Even one specific Cuban diplomat saying if the Yankees or the CIA assassinated Kennedy to resume the assault on Cuba, then a third world war would start. One diplomat assumed, specifically automatically saying, yeah, it was the CIA. Lots of people were saying that. And then the FBI director went out of his way for some reason to make sure that those conversations were stifled right away. There's also an accusation against Joe Biden here that's very interesting. But before getting into all of that, support us on WeAreChange.org /subscribe.
Oh no, it's time for an advertisement.
Is the website where you also get to support yourself. We just released a really cool video from our arrange day that we're going to be doing in 4 weeks from now here again in South Florida. He's got hints and memos to the Russian ambassador saying, Oswald's time is going to be limited as he's going to be killed, and they knew that before he actually did get killed. There was also an anonymous call that warned Oswald would be killed just hours before his death, and then still the police officers decided to still parade him around for some reason. Like, look, here's a guy who calls himself a patsy. Look at us. Luigi Mangione is wearing the same outfit that he was, by the way. Very strange occurrence.
Yeah, there's so much history there. Again, it's 60 years ago. To be perfectly honest, if they haven't destroyed all the files on who did it, certain government agencies, I'd be shocked. But let's keep going. Let's see if what else we can find out.
Here, that hint to bigger conspiracies at play here. But who was this anonymous phone call that warned local authorities, hey, they're going to take out Lee Harvey Oswald and they're going to end the story? Lee Harvey Oswald was literally screaming, "I'm a patsy. I didn't do it." As we found out about Lee Harvey Oswald's multiple trips to Russia, trips that he allegedly wanted to make to Cuba, to Mexico City. Now we're also finding out that there was a secret British tip about the JFK assassination 25 minutes before it happened. Yes, British newspapers received an anonymous call 25 minutes before JFK's assassination, warning of big news coming from the United States. Specifically told reporters to call the American embassy in London for some big news before abruptly hanging up after JFK was shot. British intelligence MI5 alerted the FBI about the strange call. The memo notes the U.S. and British intelligence found the timing too coincidental to ignore, adding another mystery to the events surrounding JFK's death. Was this a random tip, or did someone know the assassination was about to happen?
They definitely knew. This is 100% without a doubt. Okay, this is actually getting quite interesting.
We also found out that Ruby, the guy who took out Oswald, met before her. Yep, Ruby and Oswald met before the assassination of JFK. A CIA memo says a source told investigators that Jack Ruby and Lee Harvey Oswald met at a nightclub weeks before JFK was killed. The story of Jack Ruby, by the way, also fascinating. Very interesting tale, and a very similar tale to what a lot of people have described when they've gone through MK Ultra, mind control hypnosis attempts that were conducted by the CIA. We also found out that the State Department, before the assassination of JFK happened, cleared Oswald's return to the United States. We found out that the CIA also saw Oswald as a target, had him, quote, on their radar, as we keep hearing, and watched him closely before the assassination attempt. But yet, we're not able to prevent the assassination that happened on JFK.
Prevent, that's an interesting term. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of... This is interesting. I want to know more. I want to know why the CIA decided they had to kill him. I know there's been countless books written on it, but to be honest, I'm pretty new to all this, so... Just... It makes you think, when you look at history right now, if this hadn't happened, the history of the world would have been completely different. Now you look at recent history. If the attempt on Trump had succeeded, can you imagine how bleak our future would have been? With JFK, like, if he had not been assassinated, would everything have been better now? It's one of those things I really don't know.
We also found out that the CIA was tracking Oswald when he went to the Soviet consulate in Helsinki, and they were on him like white on rice. We also found out that J. Edgar Hoover ordered public records to stop conspiracy theories from spreading hours after Jack Ruby, who killed Lee Harvey Oswald. As many conspiracy theories, of course, arose, saying, yeah, it's very convenient that this story just went away, as we were never able to have a trial. We never had a proper investigation. We had a cover-up effort here. And it looks like the FBI director, J. Edgar Hoover, knew what was kind of going on here and automatically tried to stop any kind of questioning of these official version of events that were absolutely crazy. Now,
You know, they say history doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme. Boy, things do seem to be rhyming a lot right now.
what's going to happen with the remaining documents? We only got 50,000. We still got 30,000 more documents to come. We're going to be following it closely. There's other caveats. There's also a lot of different national security related documents related to China, related to countries in Asia, Cuba, of course, spy rings. There's also other kind of caveats here that I found kind of interesting here. As in these documents, we also have JFK Jr., the late JFK Jr., calling Joe Biden a traitor in a letter to him.
Oh my god. I think he's about to go over it a little bit, but yeah. JFK Jr. died in a plane crash in 1999. I do remember that. And I remember thinking, I wasn't really paying attention much, but that plane crash seemed very strange. And one thing I didn't know till right now is Joe Biden. Oh my god.
In 1994, this was when Joe was a senator, Hillary Clinton took his Senate seat, by the way, after JFK Jr. Just had a little accident in an
Oh my god. Um, hey, I just want to throw this out there. Subscribe to Luke Rudowski. He does amazing work. Again, all these things I didn't know, but holy crap. There's coincidences, but some wise men have said coincidences, they're not real.
airplane that many people view as suspicious to this particular day. So, yeah. What happened to JFK Jr. when he died in the plane crash in 1999? Still, some questions are left here for the suspicious minds to run with. We also found out that the CIA was opening U.S. Postal Service mail being sent to the USSR and had 300 CIA staff indexing 250,000 names. That's one other disclosure that has also come out here from these documents. We also found out that the CIA created a false flag office in South America. And the documents are...
False flag office? Okay. So a place set up to deliberately deceive people. But why? Why down there?
a little bit more layman than they are these days, as they talk about psychological operations. They talk about false flags, and they don't really hide around the kind of legalese lawyer language that we see today. They were very blunt. Now, Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna said today, after 6 decades of deception and secrecy surrounding the assassination of President Kennedy, the Trump administration is lifting the veil and giving the American people the truth. What's in those redacted papers there, though? Okay, I want to know. Where's the rest of the 30,000? I still want to see the other 30.
I'm not going to lie, I really want to know what's in those papers, too. What are they hiding?
30,000. She says, I applaud President Trump for following through on his promise of transparency to the American people by investigating the newly released JFK files, consulting experts on tracking down surviving staff of various investigative committees. My task force will get to the bottom of this mystery and share our findings with the American.
That's a lot for her to claim. I hope she does it, but I have my doubts.
People. Let's see what she finds us. She was hinting at the possibility of a second shooter here. We still haven't gotten that. Roger Stone also is on a tear, releasing a lot of very important information, as he just came out and said that the Dallas Police Department examination indicated Lee Harvey Oswald, whom the Warren Commission alleges fired a $26 World War II vintage Italian carbine, had no powder burns on his chest, arms, or hands. Impossible, therefore, for him to have shot JFK. One of many, quote, coincidences, accidents, one of the other circumstantial pieces of evidence that we are now left kind of collecting and building the bigger picture of what actually has been going on here. But a lot of people are saying, after reading just 50,000 of these documents, again, still people are sifting through them. I just covered the biggest kind of breaking revelations with them. People are saying, yeah, the CIA did it. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. The CIA took him out. Rogue.
That's exactly what I'm thinking right now.
Criminal elements within our own government that were never held accountable for it and probably tried to take shots at Donald Trump in 2024. Let's just be real with ourselves. That's the bigger implication here that I think made Trump release these documents. He kept his promise. I was a little hasty in my last video. I was a little impatient. I'm happy that there wasn't any kind of binders. I'm happy there wasn't any kind of PR move and like show this. I'm happy there wasn't any kind of curation here. It was just like, here's the documents. There was talks about, yeah, we're going to curate this. I'm still pissed that some of the files are redacted. I still think we should have a bigger push here saying, yeah, let's unredact those. It's been long enough. What are you guys hiding? Why did we redact them? What's really going on here? What's going to be with the remainder of these files? Well, that's the type of stuff you support by signing up to LukeUnfiltered.com. Sign up now. Quick, easy, simple. I know times are tough.
I might actually sign up for this one day.
To spend it, since, of course, you get a lot of really good things for your value for what you're investing in. Not just the future of these videos, masterclasses, seed oil cards, crap list of items at the supermarket, and videos centered towards helping you. If you're broke, don't buy it. Obviously, take care of yourself. I love you guys. I want to be here for you guys watching and sharing these videos. You guys mean a lot to me. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/WeAreChange.
Oh, wow. This is a good beginning.
On fumes on the edge of the brink. They want me to be perfect, but I don't fit the mold. I'm just trying to find my way, breaking the hole.